Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good day and welcome to the show. Today is Thursday the 9th of July 2020. And let's get started. Now, here's what I want to talk about. Everything suddenly around the whole world for everyone's got a whole lot more difficult. Let me explain kind of what it's like, okay? You know, say the guy used to work and fixes his car himself, and there's a little store down the road called AutoZone. You know, he goes down there and he buys cheap parts made from China, you know. So he drives down because he needs a new, say the radiator hose broke on his car. So he drives down to AutoZone, you know. And he drives into the parking lot, and there's a sign on the door that says new store hours, uh, 11 to 3, where it used to be open from 9 to 9. So now he's got to drive all the way back home again because he's a little bit past their store hours, okay? So he goes in the house, he's all frustrated and everything else, you know. He tells his wife, hey, you know, I can't go to AutoZone today. They're closed already. It's the middle of the afternoon. But they got these new store hours. So he's already been impacted by this. Because it used to be, 6 months or a year ago, he'd just drive down to AutoZone and grab his part, you know, and they were open from 9 to 9. Now he's frustrated, you know, so he has his dinner, he goes to bed and everything. He wakes up the next morning, I'm going to get that car fixed today, hon, you know. I'm going to get that new radiator hose, so I'm going to go down there before they close, you know. So he drives down to AutoZone again, the second time. Oh, wasting fuel and everything, you know, the first time. And he goes in, and they on the sign on the window, it says, store policy, all customers must wear a mask. No problem. I got a mask right here, you know? So he reaches in the glove compartment. He grabs his mask. Like, you can see the sign from his car window, you know? He reaches in the glove compartment, you know, to comply with the rule. He grabs his mask, you know, and he starts to get out of his car and he starts to put his mask on. Well, one of the little rubber straps goes snap. His mask falls off on the ground. He picks it up and takes a look at it, and he sees the rubber mask has went snap. And he tries to hold it with his hand, but it ain't working, you know. It's slipping all over his face and everything. So he knows he can't go into the store then, so he's a compliant citizen. He walks back to his car, you know. He puts his broken mask in the back in the glove compartment. He drives home. Hon, I couldn't get the part. Why? Why couldn't you get the part? Well, because my mask broke. Well, we'll have to order a new mask. I'll call on the phone, see if we can get a mask for you so you can go into the store. Or maybe I can fix that one for you. Let me see it. So she says, okay, I think I can fix it. I'll find something to fix it with. You know, I'll tie it together or whatever so you can go tomorrow. So the guy's just trying to get his car fixed. Now he's into the third day. This is what everything in our system's like now. We're not like we used to be before. We're unproductive now as a society. And this unproductiveness is at a minimum of 25% has been chopped off of everything. The whole world. It's like a sausage. When you chop off the end, you chop off 25% and slide it in the garbage. Now you got a shorter sausage. Well, I'm telling you, this world has went unproductive to 25%. 25% of everything's been chopped off. So now, let's take a look at the world. Last year, we were able to support 8 billion people, just barely. Everybody, most everybody got fed and watered. But we've just been chopped by 25% down in what we have. So now how are we going to support 8 billion? Because we've been chopped by 25%, we can only support 6 billion people. Now, how long is that net effect going to take to play out before it becomes blatantly obvious that the world can only support 6 billion or less? We got problems. And, you know, unless this virus gets fixed and gets out of the way, we're not going to stand a chance at solving these problems as long as we got an ever-expanding this thing, this vampire, this octopus that's spreading out over the world is what's slowing down our productivity. And eventually it's going to start to be felt in it's already hugely being felt in the financial system. The financial system's divided itself now. Anyway, I'll go into that in another subject. Let's get the markets open now, and let's take a look at what's actually going on in the world. So let's open up the charts right here and take a look at the prices today. What we got is we got a little bump down in the price of gold today. It's down to 1798. It's actually fell down below 1800 again. And this has been the way with gold and silver. This is why an awful lot of people have shied clear of gold and silver, is they hate seeing the price go up and then slide right back down again. And it's been manipulated by these guys for so long. But I'm going to tell you what. J.P. Morgan, he's got all this silver put away. Maybe 125 million ounces or whatever. But playing around in the silver market now, the people are standing for delivery. And so they're having to dip into their 125 million ounces. And they keep playing this game of short and silver. They're going to get caught with their pants down the end. They might not have any silver left if they keep it up. Anyway, it's rated 1800 right now, gold. It must be starting to bounce back just a little bit. Let's take a look at silver today. Silver took the bounce down too. It's at 1858. It's down 15 cents. But I think a bounce back up is in order right now, probably before the end of the day. We'll probably see silver up close to the $19 mark. In the next few days anyway, we're probably going to see it close to the $19 mark. It did break through $19 just for a little while, just before it fell down again. Let's take a look now at cryptocurrencies. And we're going to refresh the page. Now, cryptocurrency was up 275 billion. Now it's 271.5. With a Bitcoin dominance of 62.8%. And we're looking at Bitcoin price of 92.53. The markets have turned. Let's take a look at the Dow. It's 357 points down. So sentiment in the markets turned a little bit. They're getting a little bit nervous now. When you see these drops starting to occur of like 350 points, 400 points. Now, you got a lot of people out there, a tremendous amount of Robinhood traders who have been trained now to buy on the dip. And so they'd be buying right now, But, what they're doing is they're trying to get the grannies in now on the Robinhood business. Because they got money, They got a bit of money put away from years gone by with their hard workers and everything, the grannies and grandpas. And now they're trying to get them into this Robinhood business, and get their money active into it because they want to keep this rally going. Keep it going with all the Robinhood traders buy on the dip. So it's down 357 points today, 1.37%. So the Dow is at 25,710 today. Now let's take a look at crude oil. It's down $1.05 on the day, 39.85, 2.57%. The market's got a little bit of a negative feeling today, and that's why we've seen that little dip in gold and silver too, and in cryptocurrencies. A little dip on everything. That's scary right now, considering what the climate is out there and how 25% of the world's economy has now been chopped away, and how little effect that's had on the global markets, really. When you consider that 25% of the world productivity is basically gone, and it's metastasizing. It's almost like if a guy had a blood clot in his arm, and his whole arm just went dead, and the tissue turned black. It's done. It's finished. It needs amputation. That part of the economy. It's businesses are all closing, big close signs sending everybody home. That ain't coming back. Not for a long time. It might come back eventually, but not for a long time. It isn't coming back. U.S. Treasuries today. We're looking at the U.S. 30-year at 1.35. I see a negative. These yields are falling on Treasuries, which means Treasuries are rising. Means that they're racing into Treasuries today because something's going on in these markets. These markets might be getting ready for a fall down, and I've been watching for that for a while now. A market fall coming because the Fed, is starting to pull back their horns a little bit, and they're tapering off from what they were doing. And the markets now have been saturated with all that cheap, easy money, and it's buoyed them up. And plus, an awful lot of Robinhood traders and everything, and a lot of excitement in the markets right now. The whole thing's getting ready to have a sharp, quick little decline, and to the point where the Fed is forced into action again. And at that point, then we'll see the markets buoyed. The markets are getting ready to go into hyperinflate. They're getting ready to hyperinflate. Probably going to start hyperinflating within the next number of months as the Fed's reaction starts to turn more and more to support the system, and they invent new ways of getting money out there, things like UBI, stuff like that, Anyway, so we're looking at the yields falling today here across the board, and it's quite substantial. If we go to the 30-year, we're looking at a 4 basis point fall in yields at 1.35, and the U.S. 10-year is at 0.62, getting down near that zero mark baseline of negative interest rate policy. They can't put these interest rates up again ever, And, this is just a hallmark and an earmark for gold to go up. Because if they're not buying Treasury bonds anymore, because of insignificant yield, there's no yield on it anymore. When you take in inflation into consideration, and you take a look at the Fed target for inflation, and then you take a look at these Treasury yields where you got a 10-year that's only yielding 0.62, less than 1%, you figure inflation in, that's a negative yield. And that makes gold look that much more attractive to investors rather than treasuries. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for listening to this report. Oh, I forgot to do the U.S. dollar index today. 96.70. It is ticking up a little bit, and the reason why it's ticking up a little bit is the same reason why all the markets and gold and everything else. Dollar is the opposite of gold, Generally speaking, if the dollar's going up, gold's going down. If gold's going up, the dollar's going down, generally speaking. So we see the dollar going up a little bit, ticking up a little bit. What do we see gold doing right now? Ticking down a little bit. Exactly the same amount as the dollar's ticking up. Listen, catch you guys in the next show. Remember to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys out there, my audience. I got a really good audience out there on YouTube, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.